Parks is the leader of the Household Financial Health.
You had
That was a dramatic pause. No, it was just a dramatic pause. I was building the moment for you here. And so focused on, we saw awareness and engagement was one of the big things that we found through the research, but then addressing financial need. How so many of the residents in Waxahachie, anyone making less than $75,000 a year, all ages, all races, was saying our number one concern is financial need and then also financial management training. And so really, that's one of the huge things that your group, your task force is taking on to say, well, what do we do about that? How do we begin to meet those needs? So give us an update on what you guys have been talking about here.
Sure. On this definition right here, just going to point out a couple words right there. So it says every Waxahachie household has the training they need to achieve financial freedom, with requests for assistance being met with empowering collaborative solutions. So the training part, the empowering and collaborative solutions, that's what our group is really coming together to say, okay, what is already available out here to residents of Waxahachie? How are we already meeting some of these needs? Where are we providing aid and relief? But we're also saying, how do we move though from just providing aid and relief to train people in financial management, financial literacy, but how do we come up with these collaborative solutions? So our group's been busy identifying who's already doing that, finding some of these resources. We've had a fun time even exploring some of these topics that are addressed in the book When Helping Hurts, where how do we move from just enabling to empowering. And that book really talks about that the biggest need that people face when it comes to poverty is not a lack of material things, it's a lack of relationship. So for us as a group, we're saying, okay, how do we address this from a relational standpoint, collaborating together? How do we get churches and other nonprofits, even businesses, other organizations here in the city that have a heart to meet these needs? How do we work together? How do we communicate together so that this is done through a relationship? So we've been busy at work doing some of that right here. Some of the few goals that we've identified is we're trying to define what are those best practices, not just out there, for us to read in a book, but what is the best practices to reach Waxahachie residents? So we've been looking at some of those materials for financial literacy, management training, even affordable housing options, as well as mentorship training that we can have like-minded people here in Waxahachie that want to help, want to volunteer, hold people by the hand as they walk them through those solutions, as well as we're trying to be a catalyst to see that unity and collaboration happen, where more people are talking together, communicating together, and potentially even with a database as we do that together.
That's going to hit a lot of these different areas. And so, even we've talked about this a lot. In Waxahachie, there's over 80 churches. There's all kinds of nonprofits that are working, and many are providing immediate relief. Well, we want to make those churches, we want to make those nonprofits the heroes. Absolutely, do what you do. But how can we serve so that we know that we're not duplicating effort? We're not working in a way that's not strategic or that's enabling people to stay in a place that's not empowering them to their future. And so you heard Bobby talk about goals. By the way, every one of these task force has defined goals for 2017, and we're working on, and by our next meeting in August, we'll have clearly defined goals for 2020 of where each of these groups is headed, so you can kind of get that picture. But Bobby, thank you for your